Hello, 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 hello. Okay. Okay, so if you can see the screen, you just type one or something else on the screen is okay. We will start at 7:15. Hello, hello. Yeah, is anyone here? Okay, if you are here, you can send a message or maybe you can send an emoji here. I can see. Okay, no one here. So if no one here, I will just quickly run through all the questions. I think just 9 questions. It will be all the question is very easy. Okay, all the question is very easy and basic. We just I just choose some basic and normal question from the Nemos competition, and some of the question you need to think about that. But actually, we have this one we have already run through in the daily video. Okay, so we just skip it. This one we just skip it because it's same as the daily practice question. If you don't know how to do that, you can just watch the day one question again. Okay, you can just watch the day one question again. So we just so for question two, you can find okay. So all the things is 2 plus 1, 2 squared plus 1, 2 to the power 4 plus 1, and 2 to the power of 8 plus 1, and something like that. Okay, so we finally have a plus 1. But how do I calculate like that? So remember, we can find out very interesting things about the exponent. This one, the exponent is 1. This one, the exponent 2, then 4, then 8, then 16, then 32. You can find each time I times 2, I times 2, I times 2, I times 2, then I times 2. Okay, so that means here is the pattern. So that means if I want to calculate that, so everything, this part is 2 squared, 2 squared, squared, 2 to the power 4, 2 to the power 4 squared, 2 to the power of 8, and 2 to the power of 8 squared, 2 to the power of 16, and 2 to the power of 16 squared, 2 to the power of 32. And so that means what? That means if I want to have this one, if I want to have this one, we need to do what? We have the formula a squared minus b squared equals to a plus b, then a minus b. So, but all the things is about the addition, 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 addition. Where is the subtraction? We don't have. So you look at this one, 2 plus 1. If I want have the a plus b, that means I need one more a minus b, which is 2 plus 1. That means I times 2 minus 1. But what is 2 times minus 1? 2 minus 1 exactly 1. So for any kind of formula, if I times 1, if I times 1, then the last answer will be always keep the same, right? If I give you a number, you times 1, it's still this number. So it will become 2 minus 1 times 2 plus 1 times 2 squared plus 1 times 2 to the power 4 plus 1 times 2 to the power of 8 plus 1, then 2 to the power of 16 plus 1, then 2 to the power of 32 plus 1, then plus 1. Okay, so if I write the formula like that, it's same as the previous one. So after that, we can know this time we have a minus b and a plus b. So let's look at here. It will become 2 squared minus 1, and then times 2 squared plus 1, 2 to the power of 4 plus 1, 2 to the power of 8 plus 1, and 2 to the power of 16 plus 1, and 2 to the power of 32 plus 1 plus 1. Then you can find out 2 squared minus 1 and 2 squared plus 1. We can also do what? Use the same method, right? So it will become 2 to the power of 4 minus 1. And these two parts, it will become 2 to the power of 8 minus 1. Then continue. So you can find out the last term is 2 to the power of 64 minus 1, then plus 1. So finally, the answer is 2 to the power of 64. So finally, the answer is 2 to the power of 64. Okay, so this question is just use the difference between two square numbers. Super easy. So about the question three, yes. About the question three, firstly, you need to find out. Actually, I have a lot of numbers, right? I have a lot of square numbers plus together. That means maybe I want to use the 1 square plus 2 square plus 2n square equals to n times 2n plus 1 times n plus 1 over what? Over 6, right? So I want to use this formula. I want to use this formula. But okay, but something happened. So do we have these consecutive numbers? We don't have. So what is the number? 4, 7, 10, and continue to 25, 28, and 31. Once you look at this kind of sequence, yes, of course, this is a kind of arithmetic difference is 3. The common difference. So that means what? That means if I have the common difference, maybe I want to write down all the things into the arithmetic sequence. So what is the first number? 4. And after one, this is the first one, and this is the second one, this third one, and I want to get the final one. So each one, remember, once we learn the arithmetic sequence, you should know how to write down the general form. So for the general form is 4 plus n minus 1, then times the common difference. This is the general form. So arithmetic sequence general is like that. So we can find an actually is what? Actually is 4 plus 3n minus 3. So which is 3n plus 1. 3n plus 1. So of course, how many terms do we have? This 31 must be the 10th term. Must be the 10th term. So now the question become what? The question it will become each time is 3n plus 1 square. 3n plus 1 square, right? So in this form. So that means I need to open a bracket. It will become 6 and, sorry, 9n square plus 1 plus 6n. 9n square plus 1 plus 6n. So each number I can just write down in this form, right? I can just write down in this form. Right? So actually I'm calculating that. So that means I need to calculate the sum of 9n squared and the sum of 1 and the sum of 6n. So for 9n squared is 9 times 1 squared plus 2 squared plus blah 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 plus 2, 10 squared. And for this 1, how many 1 do we have? We have 10 numbers, so plus 10. And after that, this 6n. So it's about 6 times 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2, 10. Okay, so the formula is like that. So after that, the formula it will become 9 times 10 times 21 times 11 over 6 plus 10, then plus 6 times 1 plus 2 plus 3, 2, 10 is 55. So this one, it will become what? So you do the cancellation. This one divided by 3, 7. This one divided by 3, 2. Okay, so then it should become 70 is 770 times 9 over 2 plus 10 plus 330. Okay, plus 330. So this one you can just calculate, do some calculation. So 770 times 9, then divide by 2. 7 times 9 divided by 2 equals to 3465. Then we plus 10 plus 330. Okay, equals to 3,805. Okay, so this one is not also not very hard, but actually you need to find out a pattern step by step. You need to find out a pattern step by step. But actually, this one, once we find out it's a kind of arithmetic sequence, once you separate, you should know. One is n squared, one is n squared, and after that we have 6n, right? So how many one do we have? You need to know how many terms do we have and what is the formula to calculate the sum. Okay, so this one is a little hard, a little hard. So I will give it 2 stars maybe. Okay, so this is about the day one question. So about day two, the divisibility rule. Okay, so look at the first one. So a six-digit number A, B, C, D, E, F is a multiple of 4. And what is the largest possible value of A, B, C, D, E, F plus together? So that means I want to keep all the largest possible value of A, B, C, D, E, right? So of course, if I want it as large as possible, all the number I need to put is 9, right? 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Here is the largest six-digit number. But remember, is 999 a multiple of 4? Obviously not. So remember, the multiple of 4, that means the last 2 digits must be exactly divided by 4. So what is the largest number that can exactly divide by 4? It should be 9999. The last 2, maybe 96. Okay, it's maybe 96. Then you plus together, you can find out it's just 5 times 9 plus 6 equals to 51. But have you ever think about one question? I want to make what as the biggest number, largest possible value. We don't need to care about this A, B, C, D, E, F. This 6-digit number is the largest possible value. We just need to focus on what? A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F should be the largest possible value, right? So that means the last 2 digits can anything else? It's 9 plus 6, right? 9 plus 6 equals to 15. But can we find any else number, also the multiple of 4, but the sum of these two numbers is larger than 15? Yes, we have this 8 plus 8, which is 16. 8 plus 8, which is 16. So actually, the biggest sum, it should be 4 times 9 plus 8 plus 8 equals to 36 plus 16 equals to 52. Okay, equals to 52. So actually, the answer is 52. Hey, so now let's look at the question 2. Question 2, maybe you think it's a very large one, right? A very hard one. So we need to care about the 7, 8, and the 9. So some of you maybe discuss, what is the multiple of 7? Maybe you just use the 3-digit cut. What is the multiple of 8? You focus on the last 3 digits. And what is the multiple of 9? You plus all the numbers together. But do we need that? Think about one thing. If a number is the multiple of 7, 8, 9 are 3 consecutive numbers. For these 3 consecutive numbers, they are just the co-prime. They are just the co-prime. So that means what? That means if I want to calculate what? If I want to calculate this 7-digit number is the multiple of 7, 8, 9, that means it must be the multiple of LCM of 7, 8, and 9, which is 504. Which is 504. So once we know the LCM of 789 is 504, that means what? That means we just need to find out how many 7-digit number begin with 2020 ABC. It's a multiple of 5, 0, and 4. So what is the smallest 7-digit number based on this 2020? It will become 2020000. How about the largest? How about the largest? The largest is 2020 999. So that means in this, we are just talking about in this range, how many numbers is the multiple of 504? How many numbers is the multiple of 504? So yes, you just need to calculate 2020 000 divide by 5004. 2020000 divide by 504. Maybe you can find it's about 4007, right? Remainder something. 4007 times. Actually, we don't need to care about the remainder, right? We know the remainder, of course, is smaller than 500. So we must have one multiple, right? And after that, we just plus this, find out the answer, then 504. We can find out the answer. Actually, we only have 2. Maybe someone may ask, okay, so teacher, how to calculate that? I don't understand what you talk about. So we can just calculate, right? We can just calculate. So 2020 000 divided by 504 is 4007. Remainder what? Remainder 472. 472. Okay, so that means this number cannot exactly divide by 4072. But who can? Right? So we just plus 504, which is 2002 000. We just plus 32, right? So we just plus 32, which is 032. So this one must be the multiple of 504. And then the next one is 2020 plus 504, which is 536. So these are the 2 7-digit numbers. Exactly can exactly divide by 504. Okay, so yes, but to be honest, this question won't let you to calculate so much. Once you calculate here, yes, you can understand. You can just get out how many such integers do we have. And about question 3, so there is a 7-digit number ABC 2017 is the multiple of 13. So remember a very important thing: 7 times 11 times 13 equals to 1001. So how to determine one number it can exactly divide by 7, 11, and 13? We can use what? 3-digit cut. So we from right to left, we use the 3-digit cut. Cut here and cut here. So the even group is BC2. And what it must be 1. Okay, so we just check one by one. For example, A equals to 1 and B equals to 1 is the smallest, or maybe B equals to 0. So you can find out actually C2 minus what? Minus 18 should be the multiple of 13. So obviously, maybe you can just try. Is it possible the product is 13? Is it possible the difference is the multiple of 13? You can ever try. You can ever try. So this one equals to 13, right? That means C2, 13K. Okay. So that means 10C equals to 13K plus 16, right? Plus 16. So is it possible? Yeah, maybe it's possible. K equals to 8, right? 10C equals to 100 something. So that means it's already not possible. That means B cannot be 0. Then you talk about A equals to 1, B equals to 1. So it will become 1C2 minus 18 is the multiple of 13. So you can see it's 102 plus 10C minus 18 equals to 13K. Okay, so you can find out 10C equals to 13K minus 84. Okay, minus 84. So then you can just try maybe K equals to what? Can be the multiple of K equals to 8, right? 10C equals to 13 times 8 minus 84. So 10C equals to, sorry, it's here. 104 minus 84. 10C equals to 20. So C equals to 2. Then we can find out the smallest possible ABC. It should be 112. Okay, it should be 112. I think the answer is 112, right? Okay, it's 112. You need to discuss like that. So actually, it's a little hard because it's the special round, maybe the last third questions. Okay. So now let's look at our day three question about the half model. About half model. Half model is every year we'll test at least one question. So now ABC is a right angle triangle with CAB, okay, equals to angle CAB equals to 90 degrees, and ADEF is a kind of rectangle. D lies on AB, E lies on BC, and F lies on AC. Okay, so BD, we know BD equals to 4 and CF equals to 5 centimeter. So I want to find out the area of this one. Someone asked, okay, so teacher, the half model is only in the parallelogram. But this question, do we have the parallelogram? Yes, we have. It's the parallelogram is what we want to find out. But is it possible to find out this one, maybe use the half model? No. But now, how about like I draw this one like here? Right? If I draw the diagram like here, so I build it is A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. Sorry, we have F, G. So we know CABG, of course, is a kind of rectangle. Is a rectangle, and CB is the diagonal line. Is a diagonal line. Okay. So I spell wrongly. Sorry. Diagonal line. So that means this CB actually separate this rectangle into half. And also this one is also a kind of rectangle. This one is also a kind of rectangle. That means what? That means this is S1, this is also S1. This is S2, this is also S2. That means the shaded area S3 should equals to this one, the shaded area S3. So this is the meaning of the half model, okay? So that means it's harder for us to calculate the shaded area directly. But for this green one, this S3, is it very easy? Yes. You move 5 here, this is 5, and this is 4. So the area is just 4 times 5 equals to 20. 4 times 5 equals to 20. Okay, so this 5 and 4 actually is a little far away from the each other, but we need to find a way to combine, to move 4 and 5 into one shape to calculate that area. Actually, this question have already give you the hint. Okay, so now let's look at the next one. So what is the, if the total shaded area is 2,242, and can we find out the length of this square AB? Okay, so actually it's also easy. So this is a random point, right? If I choose a random point inside a parallelogram and I connect it to the 4 vertex, I connect to the 4 vertex, right? So that means the up and down, left and right, the shaded area actually is what? The shaded area actually is half of the square ABCD. A half of the square ABCD, which is 242, which is 242. Okay, so now if I want to find out the length of AB, so that means we need to find out ABCD first. So the square ABCD's area, of course, is 2 times 242, which is 484, right? 484. Now, if I want to find out the length of AB, so how can I do? So if I want to find out that, you can maybe just try to do the root 484. You can get is just the 44. But how I calculate so fast? That means if you cannot do like that, you need to do factorization. 484 divided by 4, 121. Divide by 11, 11. So that means 484 equals to 2 squared times 11 squared. That means, oh, sorry, the answer is 22. I'm stupid. Okay, so now we know this is part. So AB times AB equals to 2 squared times 11 squared. So of course, AB equals to 22. Okay, so it's also very easy. You just know how to find out the root of one number. It's just do the prime factorization and then find out the exponent, the even exponent. Okay, so the last one, yeah, maybe it's a little hard. So I only give you one hint is this ABCD is 704, and I want to calculate this trapezium AEGF. I want to calculate this trapezium AEGF. How to do that? The only things I know is 704. To be honest, if you are just on the in the competition, you have own idea. My suggestion is just guess. The answer is 704. Yes, actually, yes. Why? Let's think about why. So now we know D is the midpoint of this EG, and AFGE is a kind of trapezium. So now let's try to connect this DF. You can find out this triangle ADF's area actually is what? Remember, this is a kind of trapezium. So inside this trapezium, D is the midpoint, right? And I connect the what? I connect the ADF. So this part actually is the half of what? It's the half of this trapezium AEGF. Okay, so otherwise, so on the other way, so let's think about this ADF is also what? Let's look at this rectangle. So you can see this ADF is also what? It's also half of the rectangle A, B, C, D. Okay, it's also half A, B, C, D. Now, this one, we have the common half, right? We have the common half. That means this trapezium equals to this rectangle. So the answer is just 704. 704. This is a very typical model in the half model. So a typical question. So the rule is half of my equals to half of u. That means I equals to 2, right? Half equals to the total. Okay. So I think that's all. The question is not so hard. The question is not so hard, but it's a very basic question. It's a very all the question is very basic. If you want to go join any kind of competition next year, yeah, this is the easiest one. This is the easiest one. Okay. So here's all the things. If you have any question, you just type in the chat box. I can see it. Okay. So if with no more question, we just stop here. Also, I will send the solution into the group. Yeah, you can have a check.